Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm glad to hear with us on a Friday morning. All kind of stuff to give away. I am going to give away sweepstakes prize today along with our seafood, but let's get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. We're looking at a high today of 87, okay? A low of 73. Water temperature is 85, around 85, so we did go up 1 degree. The river reading is brought to us by Mountain Dew. And folks, our motto is take it outside with Mountain Dew. But if you take it outside to the rivers and all, you're going to be walking across some of these creeks right now, because right now the Apalachicola Bluntstown is at a 0.8 and the Choctaws at Caryville is at a 0.1. This is fascinating to me how low they are. Over and over again, I'm hearing stories from folks who are out there in the woods and on the water, and they're just talking about remarkable things about them walking across the water where they've never been able to do it in some spots. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Basically got some neat tides today, not a lot of movement. We have a high tide this morning at 8:51, but it only got a 0.4 drop there. We're at low at 4:11. And our marine forecast be east, southeast at about 8. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, and welcome to our guest this morning. He's not a guest, he's like a regular, because this is a man we blame or give credit to, whatever, got me into this mess of morning TV show, Captain Roy Ray.
Good to be with you, Coach.
Well, we're just so glad to have you on a regular basis and all, and we were talking about, we've been blessed in the Florida Panhandle to have some a legacy of outdoor TV shows. Ours wasn't the first, but it goes way back.
You got it all by yourself right now, Coach.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
I started out with Red Holland. Everybody, I guess, in the world knows Red Holland.
Yeah.
Red, I think he was on Channel 7 for about 17 years.
Okay.
And he actually was the first to advertise my raised spec rigs. Mm-hmm. And I called him, and I was wanting to get him on there so I could sell a few of them. But I wouldn't cut a commercial with him until he went fishing with me, just to make sure that he knew that the bait would work. And we made an appointment, and we got the first place we stopped. We threw out there, and I think for about 5 or 10 minutes we caught one every cast. He looked around and said, "Oh," I said, "you got me sold," but said, "That's fish on." Red, he was a good fisherman. He loved to fish. He was a fine fellow. He got a complete personality than what he had on the show. A lot of people didn't know that. I enjoyed fishing with Red. Well, then come Jim Wilson. Jim followed Red on Channel 7, and he wanted me to take him fishing. And he would film some for the show. I told him fine. And Jim was a good fisherman. I always told him he was the only person that I ever fished with that could cast a reel halfway across the bay. Now he fished a jig with a large head on it. Mm-hmm. And again, I was lucky really. But first place I went, the trout was there. And I started fishing. I let him fish first. I told him, there's a little point come out in the bayou, mm-hmm. and I figured there's some fish there. And he started casting. And the first cast I made, I got about a 3-pound one on that raised spec jig.
Ooh.
And while I was pulling him in, he wouldn't even help me net him. He was busy fishing. Jim, I know, was watching the show this morning. Jim, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, he let me do that about 3 times. It wasn't all that big, but every cast I was catching a fish. And finally, he made that cry that I've heard many, many times. Has he got another one of them? Or I'll take one of them.
I'll take one of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take one of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell a quick story about it. Me and Jim had a lot of stories together. We become close friends. I took him fishing on in a pond up there close to my land, and I had a canoe up there. And he's a good bass. Jim was a good fisherman. And we got the canoe in the water. I got in first. We put all of our stuff in it. And I said, "Now, Jim, be sure when you step in that canoe, you step right in the middle of it and catch it with both sides." Mm-hmm. he'll tell you this day that I rocked that canoe. Because when he stepped in it, that canoe did that.
Oh, no.
Everything we had was floating out there in the lake. Jim, I didn't do it, you did it. Anyway, then come along with Ron Jones had a good show on, and for a number of years on Channel 13 on Saturday morning. And Ron's health failed him, and he no longer was able to do the show. And like I say, Ron didn't produce Red's show, but he did all the filming for Red Howard.
Yeah.
And he actually produced some of mine and Cheryl's Outdoors with Captain Roy shows when we first started. He furnished the studio and everything. And I appreciate that, Ron. And I pray for that you're going to be back on your feet, get back on the air. But you've got it by yourself now.
I don't see many more out there right now, so it's a challenge, and it is a fun, enjoyable challenge.
And it's, you know, it's an important thing for the community to advertise that this is one of the best places to live in the world, because if people like to fish, this is the fishing world. Yep. You're doing a good job with it.
Well, thank you, Roy. Appreciate that. We're always proud to have you on because of the legacy. Now, you've sold your boat.
Yeah, I did.
That's hard to believe that you sold your boat.
We just celebrated the anniversary of Michael. You know, actually the storm started on Wednesday and lasted all Wednesday night and into Thursday. And about 2 o'clock on Wednesday, I was standing looking out the window, out my glass door really, seeing things flying by out there. I knew things were getting rough. And it's just in a second, my boathouse did just like that, up in the air and was gone. Left my boat sitting there. So, I still was taking people fishing, and had cut it down to a very minimum. And I did my last fishing trip, last weekend in July. A family from Memphis, Tennessee came down every March and the last weekend in July. For several years I'd taken them fishing. I didn't tell them till I got back to the dock, because I wasn't going to say anything, but got off the dock, out of my boat, and Rob said, "Well, I'll see you next March." I said, "Well, I'm going to put the sad news on you." I said, "This is my last trip."
That was your last trip?
My last trip.
Well, you should have let us know. We'd have had a little ceremony to take a picture of that. That was something else. That was a special time, the last trip.
It was, and but people kept calling me, and for 2 or 3 reasons why I sold the boat. First of all, Michael got my boathouse. Yeah. And to keep it, I had to build another boathouse. People, I've said this many times, many people know that we really got hit hard up at my place. Yeah. And we didn't have any insurance. Yeah. And so that was one thing. And the other thing, it took me away wonder if I want to go back fishing, take somebody else fishing. Now I can't. And a fellow bought the boat. It was a local person. I think I read it on TV and on my internet, and he came up and bought it. I think he bought it for sentimental.
Yeah, that's
cool. A lot of people enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's had a lot of folks out. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Getting ready to get this stuff away. Before we get to it, we did leave off one good fellow. Did a great job. He always subbed for Red, but he had a show by himself. Scott Lindsay. Scott, he sure did. He did a great job. I tried to get him to come on, and he says it's too early for him, but I know I'm going to get him to come on pretty soon. All right, this is our fall sweepstakes. We'll show you some of the stuff. First, we've got them in a box here, and we're going to give away this shirt right here from Fish Bites, okay? Cast, let's see, cast, catch, and repeat. That's a nice shirt, large shirt there. And I got several. I got a cap from Fish Bites, and then Abu Garcia. And I got a couple of sun visors, Crime Stoppers, hand warmers, some koozes, about 4 or 5 of those. Panhandle Outdoor decal, 1 apiece. So if you like a clear one or the other one, Jeff Peck's great video, walks through nature. Okay, some Fish Bites, and our floating pliers. Y'all seen these before. I'm gonna give you 2 so you can give one away to make somebody else happy, all right? And also a fishing lure right here that comes in, this called a frig plug, okay? That's interesting. Good looking plug here, comes in a case. And then also this right here, it's not a Yeti, but it's close to it. It's okay, a slim line there. This is all in our prize package. And Roy, I think that's all. I'm gonna put it back here. I'm gonna let you draw the name out, okay? You draw one name out of here, and they're gonna win our sweepstakes. So grab a name real quick.
Let's see if I can find mine there.
Okay. And the winner is, all the way from Clarksville, Marilyn McGeechee. All right. Good loyal viewers up there, the McGeechee family. All right, so see what happens when you get to watch the show on a regular basis, Marilyn, so good job there. All right, let's get back. Roy, we're getting ready. The next segment, the last segment we're going to talk about a fall pattern and fishing and all. But and we've talked about the history and all, so bringing us up to date. You've sold your boat. You're not taking any more guided trips. So let's.
But I am going to fish.
But you are going to fish. Let's keep that clear. You're still going to go fishing. So
right.
I'll take you in my boat. We'll do some fishing, and we got to get up with old Jim Wilson. Talked to him the other day. And but anyway, I've said this before on the show. This man right here has caught more speckled trout than anyone around. Period. And I'll back that up with any statistics you want to come up with. And what have you seen change over the speckled trout in all the years, in the 80-something years you've been fishing for them?
I started keeping a record of every trip that I've made from the time I started chartering. I brought down, of course, I had my mileage and all to help me figure out my income tax at the end of the year and how much money I'd taken in. So I've got a record of all of them. And I got some interesting things on there. You know, I was looking through there the other day, and I come across, I believe it was, what was it, 93, 90, somewhere along about in the early 90s. And there was old Tom Mann.
Yeah.
I took Tom fishing. I took him 2 times to make shows. He was on had a television show somewhere, and with Joe Ranowski. Joe made the banjo baits, and they took me, and I'm gonna tell this is true. I would find some fish with a raised spec rig, and then they would fish with the Joe Ranowski. Joe would come up with a little bait he called with a bionic head. It was a wooden head, and with a spring on the back of it, a spring in. And he sold that. I know Walmart stores sold them in package deals. You screw the tail on there, and they bit it. But I still like my jig. But anyway, that was interesting. Winston, just about every year I could go through there, and at the end of the year I would put the total number of fish that what my average was, and I would average over 100 speckled trout for a number of years. And
100 trout per trip. Per trip.
And most trips in the early till the mid 90s, I'd catch at least one 5-pounder, and sometimes 2, and the redfish. But it's dwindled.
It's not that much anymore.
It's not that much.
Let's go back even further. When you were growing up there in West Bay, in the 50s and 60s and all, they were just your dad was catching them right and left too.
Yeah, he started fishing that spec jig under a float. Now,
yeah,
a fellow named Louis Spinks made that jig. Yeah. And he made it to use as a troller behind him. Louis made a lot of other jigs. Yeah. But my dad started fishing under that float. He would fish out there in the bay. Along in the time that net was put across the bay, people were going to raise all them big shrimp behind it, and they had a net across the bay. Yeah. Up there, it made all of us mad because he took a part of our bay away from us. But my dad found out it was a blessing. They'd feed those shrimp, and behind that net, and that feed would come up against the net. Yeah. My dad would go along. He catch 30, 40 pound speckled trout and sell them.
Okay, I remember that. Now, when did your catches, I know our population decline or the catch decline, it just started a steady decline. When did you see it start declining?
About the turn of the,
Okay.
about the 2000s.
Okay.
I really began to notice it. Where I used to catch two 5-pounders, there for a long time, it's got so bad. If I could catch 2 keeping trout a trip, people were satisfied. I was glad that people said, I don't want to keep your fish because they were hard to catch.
Yeah.
And the FWC has got a new law to protect them. Maybe I know one thing. When they stopped catching, letting you keep redfish, that was back in the early '80s, I guess. In 2 or 3 years, you could speckled trout fish for redfish, so it worked.
Yeah.
And people stopped catching.
They were aggravating. They were getting in the way. Let's take our final break. We'll come back to our drawing for our seafood, and we'll be right back with Captain Roy. Welcome back. Today with Captain Roy Ray, a longtime friend of mine, just a great person to have on, and just a great person all around. Let's look at our fishing game times today from Blue Water Outriggers, 11:08 to 1:08, right in the middle of the day, and 11:28 to 1:28 tonight. So let's go ahead and draw for some Tarpon Dock Seafood. Draw one name for this would be for the $20 gift certificate. All right, and that name is going to be, the winner is going to be all the way from Teloja, Jessica Hill, and then one more for the red snapper. Clarksville, Teloja, and this one is from Bascom. Man, we're hitting around.
Wow.
Oh, Clay Patrick up there. Clay, come get that red snapper. Let me know when you're going to cook it. All right, we got them all over the place. Now listen, real quick, we're getting ready for our fishing forecast. We're going to see where Captain Roy would go fishing this weekend. But what do you contribute? I want you to answer this because you got a great answer. What do you contribute the loss of the red snap? of the speckled trout population and all?
People.
People. One word, people. And that's a good answer. There are a lot more fishing for them.
Same thing with the freshwater fishing. A friend of mine asked me one time, when I was on my TV show, to advertise a flathead catfish tournament they had. He said, I really want you to advertise that because they're eating up all the fish in the river. I said, no, that's not the problem. The problem is people eating them, taking them home and eating them.
Yeah.
Fishing is a sport. I wish people could get that on their mind.
Yeah.
Fishing is a sport.
Yeah.
And not a fish market.
Yeah,
People.
Yeah. And we're slowly getting around to that, but we've done a lot of damage over the years, but we're hanging in there. And don't forget now, the shoal bass, because of the drastic loss of population on the Chipotle River, on places found, they're closing the season on it, so we'll talk more about that next week. Freshwater now.
Freshwater. A fellow told me that you could hang a cricket a foot above the water and a bluegill brim would hit it. That was my brother-in-law's favorite place to put his bobgrass. He grew up, that's his favorite place to put his boat in. 2 weeks ago, he went there, and he almost didn't get it in.
Now we're talking about the Choctawhatchee River at the Highway 20 bridge.
Highway 20. And they've got a launch there, a concrete pad out there for you to back out on. And when you run off that, back your boat off, it just, your wheels drops off, and you got your trailer sitting on the concrete. And you could pull your axle out. I don't recommend going to Highway 20 and launch your boat. And I don't know where you can that way up the river. I know from there up to Caryville, you almost, I believe you can wade it.
And you said down at Willis Landing, you went the other day.
Willis Landing, my brother and I went down there, and boy, you talk about stump knockers. Take kids down there, you catch a lot of stump knockers. We caught a few brims, all we wanted to keep. And there's 2 places in Willis Landing where I think you can wade all the way across it.
That's amazing.
So if you go run that boat down there wide open, you're going to have a problem.
Okay, real quick, if you were going to go speckled trout fishing this weekend, what would you do?
I'd go to Steel Field Fish Camp. I'd go down to where it hits the river and start fishing.
Okay.
That river's full of redfish and skipjacks, and I know that there's speckled trout there. This has happened before. The river this time of year will fill up with a mint hake, little small mint hake, and that's what it is. Those fish fall. You know, normally in October, this time of year, the fish will gather around the mouth of a creek or about where they're going to winter, and spend the winter there. They're already up there. Now they will go up in West Bay Canal. It goes all the way from West Bay to Saltahatchee Bay. It would be some good fishing.
Okay.
Speckled trout.
What about the Sandy Creek and East Bay area? What do you think?
I hate Sandy Creek.
I know you do, because of the accident you had. A lot of people have commented on that when you talked about it on the show. A lot of people commented.
I'm going to say this. I'm afraid that the ranchers over there, Western, has really done damage to that part of the bay. Okay. They're raising cattle there now. They've got fertilizer that's running into the creek, and it fell out 2 years ago. It got real hard for me to catch a lot of fish, but I could find a lot of small trout for people to catch. Last year, not so many, and this year, Winston, it was just it just fell out. Okay. That's what I contribute to.
Okay, and Burnt Mill Creek, Crooked Creek, and all that.
It seemed like that I had a pretty good report of people catching some trout in Crooked Creek. But at Burnt Mill the last year or two that I fished it, and the reason I left was I couldn't catch any fish above the bridge. And of course the runoff from the airport. It used to be a place that kind of siphoned the bay and filtered the bay water.
All these little things add up. They all add up. But more people, more pollution, and all that. So we got to take care of ourselves. Roy, we're going to run out of time. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're always glad to have Captain Roy Ray, and the legend himself. And we always appreciate you people watching our show. You have a great weekend. Jeff Beck's headed up there fly fishing in North Georgia, so we're going to get a report on fly fishing in North Georgia. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.